Both people in the relationship need to know this. How you were responded to when you were vulnerable as a child is how you are going to react when you are triggered as an adult. So what I mean by this is when you were a kid and you were vulnerable, you were upset, you were crying maybe about something, you got hurt, something like this, you had an emotional need where you met with coldness, with toughness, where you ignored, where you left to like cry it out. When you are now triggered, especially by your partner as an adult, you are going to show up with that same coldness or rejection that you got when you were vulnerable. When we're in a triggered state, we go back to that wounded state, that traumatized state in our psyche, and we equate vulnerability and fight or flight reaction with that experience. So our default is to go to that reaction. To help illustrate how this shows up, let's look at the inner work chart that shows the levels of self-esteem development that we were exposed to as a kid. So for example, if our parents met us with rejection, then we're going to do that in our own triggered state in our relationships when we feel vulnerable or cornered. Or if our parents judged us, we'll be very judgmental of our partner. If our parents got overwhelmed and shut down, we will be overwhelmed and shut down when we get triggered. If they got really prideful and insecure, then we will get prideful and insecure. So we have to do our healing work to look at these scenarios and the imprinting they had on us so that we can move into a place of accountability, which is where we truly can choose for ourselves how we want to react. Until you make these wounds conscious, they will run our behaviors and we won't understand what is going on. We think it's just who we are, but actually it can be healed, and the defensiveness and the arguing and the fighting and the triggers can be resolved when we finally give our unmet inner child needs the love and attention they actually require. Until you let yourself have that love that you never got, you will keep perpetuating the painful cycles that you received. To learn more about doing this healing work and a step-by-step guide through that chart of healing these wounds, you can get the book, The Inner Work of Relationships, which is an invitation to heal your inner child and create a conscious relationship together.